Hey guys, it's Drax with the second part of the test server update changes from the 18th of April, but also with some additions from the update on the 21st. A few notable additions here, so let's take a look. And we'll start with construction changes. Cortium costs are being updated to move some of the front end costs into the upkeep of the base. As a result, costs have been decreased significantly for all objects. This change should decrease the time investment needed to build. Cortium maintenance costs have been increased, but this cost can be mitigated significantly with the Cortium taps, which we'll touch on now. And they're currently bugged in this build, so I couldn't test them out. The Cortium tap is a new item which will be given to all players by default. It reduces your base Cortium drain, and it has a 10,000 Cortium capacity, so it can act as additional storage when the silo is full. Onto the glaive IPC, and direct damage has been increased from 750 to 1250. It also has an indirect damage radius buff from 10 to 15. The Skywall shield emitter now requires players to interact with the module to reactivate the shield after it's been disabled due to enemy fire or power loss. This takes 15 seconds to re-enable the shield, and the shield now reactivates with 75% health, a buff up from 10%. Players cannot interact with the module while the module is disabled due to glaive fire, which ties in with the orbital strike changes, seeing as they can no longer target an area directly under an active Skywall shield. Can now target within no construction areas, and yes, that means a normal base which might be packed full of players. The minimum range has been reduced from 200 meters to 150 meters. So on to miscellaneous changes, fixes and additions. The Hunter QCX should no longer have excess recoil, and the EMP grenade no longer clears the HUD, but shows the HUD as static. It no longer drains ability energy, and no longer disables a Sunderer's deployment shield. A few implants have received some changes, so we'll look at them now. The Minor Cloak time to enter has gone from 8 seconds to 6 seconds. Vampire health regeneration on a kill is being buffed on all tiers. Safeguard rank 5 now passively increases body shot resistance to melee damage by 20% instead of the 10% frontal armor it had previously. And Assimilate max rank now replenishes 10% of your current, not maximum ability energy. Shield restoration is also being buffed on all tiers. The Heavy Assault's resist shield damage reduction is going from 40 to 35%. In a dev note it says here that this partial change is in preparation for a test that they will be running in a later PTS update. Looking at NSX weapons, the Yumi did hit the live servers, but it wasn't great, so they are testing out some buffs. The max damage is going from 150 to 167, minimum damage range from 65 meters to 90, ammo capacity from 230 to 210, refire time from 150 to 250 milliseconds, and delay before firing from 350 to 250 milliseconds. The NSX TENGU has now been added and is now available to test. It's described as a playful SMG that scatters 4 pellets per shot and narrows its spread when aiming down sights, so it's technically a shotgun SMG. And finally, the Forge Station, which I've looked at a few times over the past weeks, can now be found in the Combat Medics utility slot. It no longer uses ammo, instead having a 120 seconds cooldown. Respawn time, which wasn't even noticeable before, has gone from 15 seconds to 25 seconds, and damage from friendly fire is being reduced by 85%. It now heals allies for 20 health per second and no longer restores shields, and temporarily is using a God Beam effect to denote placements on the test server, though the intent is to use the minimap icon in the future. So that's all the changes for this video. Hopefully you have found it helpful and informative. If you did, then leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to give feedback on the forums. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
And I've been counting down